Hello and welcome to my channel, Redeeming Thunder. I also post these videos of prophetic word regarding the Ordained Spouse series on my other channel, Daughters of Fire. This word was given to me on 9/6/2024. This word has a lot to do with a vision I received. And that vision was given to me in August 2024. And again, it does have a lot to do with the ordained spouse. So we're going to jump right in because this is very interesting. This is the sequel. Yahuah wants me to share that it is now. It is now. And the reason why I say it is now, in sparks have already flown, blossoms, there are blossoming chemistry. Not only that, but they're blossoming attention and not only that, but willingness and confirmation of the future king and accepting the call, and also excited and definitely loving your fragrance. I don't know how else to say it. It's kind of it's exciting in a sense that there is an enticement, there is favor upon the women who are going forth and being chosen to marry these future kings. And the reason why I know that this is the time frame to share this word is because we are passing over the month of Tevet, which is the 10th Hebraic month. And that is the month when Esther entered the palace, and she was going to be beautified with essence, with essential oils, with perfumes. She's been doing that for some time, and now she is now before the king, and he is now already knows who she is. I don't know how else to say it. Okay? I'm just gonna say it flat out. He already knows who you are. Okay? And he fell in love with her at first sight. Okay? The favor upon Yahuah was upon her. And he moved her to his own personal home. Because there were a bunch of concubines that all the women were housed in a different home. But this, in Esther chapter 2, it starts to explain her journey. And she's in the palace. She's been preparing. But now she is in his own home, personal home. Okay? That means her oils have been appeasing to the Most High. Her aroma, her praise, her worship, her purification, her consecration has been favored by the Most High. And he elevated her. He ascended her to the rightful position, okay, for her destiny. And that is the segment that I want to speak about. And the prophetic word given is alas, I am coming. Laka Si. And I will put more information on the video. Laka stands for to be taken. Okay? It also stands for to marry. And so at this point in time, it's already predestined that you are for another. You are for somebody very special. That's king. Okay? That's a king already in Yahuah's eyes. Okay? And so there's another prophetic word given, CD, Zelle, that speaks about to relinquish, to dismantle. Do not continue to persist your own idea of what you had planned for yourself. Okay? And I will put further more information in this video regarding that. Why did he say that? Because behind the scenes, there was a birthing occurring. The month of the 8th month stands for birthing. Okay, then you see how the 9th month passed. Now we're in the 10th month. We're going into the 11th month. Now with blossoms, the almond blossomed supernaturally. The almond branch blossomed supernaturally. So there's going to be a supernatural intervention occurring in many of your lives to create this union. Now, he was handpicked for you, or she was handpicked for you. And if you noticed, it never says that he was preparing the king for this queen. Okay, it states Esther was being prepared a whole year for this king. So it's for all of those who Yahuah have been speaking to you, giving you clues that you are going to be meeting your ordained spouse very soon, and you are going to be getting married. Okay? It's for those women who Yahuah has been setting apart. You've been in consecration, you've been in purification mode, you've been set apart, you've been doing away with all types of hindering spirits, hindering curses. Okay, you've been blocking it, and you've been in purification mode. Not only that, I also wanted to mention that this is confirmation that the individual that's specifically for you knows who you are. Okay? How do I know this? First of all, because Yahuah in the month of the 10th month has been showing me, okay, letting me see and showing me that this individual very much knows who you are. Okay? Even though you haven't met before. It could be a situation where you've known this person for some time, or it could be a situation where you never met. But the thing is, Yahuah has disclosed who he is. Just like he disclosed it to Esther. She needs to go to the palace. Mordecai was going to present her, and she was going to be instantly favored, instantly chosen, and then bumped up to a position with favor, okay, with a personal eunuch, personal servant at her every beck and call. So she had extraordinary support to prepare for this. Okay. Besides that, there is also knowledge that he knows that the Esthers are entering the palace at this time frame. So he knows he's getting a future queen. He knows. The other thing that he knows, or that he's well aware, that I want you to know, is that he knows it's the rib. It's coming directly from his rib. It's the exact. There's no way of rejecting. See how immediate this King Xerxes was towards Esther. There was no rejection. There was no oddness to it. There was no. All she did was walk in. Okay, and from there he moved her up, and then was already prepared. She was already preparing for that whole year. Okay, so now that whole year has came and went, and he knows that now she is favored by the king, and now the other part is just like Xerxes was. King Xerxes was very, very much adoring her. She was favored, okay? He loved her wit, he loved her charisma, he loved the way she had these deep conversations, was able to articulate, she was able to, and then she was very beautiful, so then it was extremely captivating for him. Okay, she was all that. She was all that. Now, in real life, the individual that's for you, they know that you're all that. And super excited for this future union. Super excited and wanting it to happen. Okay? Just like King Xerxes, he was waiting quite some years, about 4 years or so, after Queen Vashti rejected him, and it was a good while to search for the perfect queen. Okay? So many came to the palace. This is starting up around Esther 2:8, around there. Many came to the palace, but only right when he saw Esther, he knew she was the one. Okay? Right when he saw her. So the same thing. The fellow has been waiting a long time. The king, your future king, has been waiting a very long time and has been anticipating this wonderful union to happen. So he's very much wanting a queen. That's the other thing. Now, in regards to the vision I had, this is the sequel. Yahuah wants me to speak to you about that. It was the sequel regarding my hands, my knees. Okay? Now I'm gonna, I'm going to attach that video to this video so you can watch it. It's going to be in the description. Okay, so what happened in this, I'm going to reiterate this vision so you can get an idea how critical, how important this is. She attends this event with an ancestor, and I see this woman sitting on in the stadium like setting. And the person that is giving a prophetic word or some kind of sermon or some kind of production, okay, there's an event that she attends. That just states that he's going to be in ministry. So your ministry and his are going to combine into one. That's why it's so important to be together. Okay, so besides that, she's just sitting there minding her business. She knows that it's him, but she's not going to go up there and be like, "Hi, it's me. This is destined to be." She's going to wait for Yahuah's timing. Okay? She also, she's not there to be like distracting the event. She's not there to be putting attention on herself. She is modest and she has poise. Okay? She's not going to be like distracting any kind of event. Okay? She's there to praise Yahuah. So she sees him there. Okay, then it backs up. Then that's how I see her there. Then she's holding this baby. It looks like a newborn baby, maybe about 3 months old. I don't really know because it was like under a blanket, and she was nursing this woman. On that sense, it has to do with an evil spirit trying to suckle, trying to pull the virtue out. So it's not really a good, it's not literally saying having a newborn baby at this time frame is bad. It's not even saying having children and trying to be, I'm not going to be chosen because I have children. That's not even saying any of that. It's saying at any time frame when you have a dream and a baby is nursing, has to do with getting your virtues, your destiny stolen. Okay? And it has a lot to do with who's sitting beside you. Okay? So if you notice that those ancestors, those family members, those friendships are not healthy, they're toxic, they're secretly prying in your life for your demise. I'm not saying praying, I'm saying prying. You need to dismantle that friendship. You need to separate yourself, because they really are stealing your virtue in real life. They really are trying to sabotage your future. They really are trying to debeautify. That's what it was. Suckling has to, nursing baby has to do with debeautifying debeautifying you. What were you doing all this time? You were in the secret place gathering oils, fragrance, aroma, perfumes, a lot of preparation to meet the king. Has a lot to do with beautifying themselves. These concubines and the future queen has to do with your hair, has to do with physically looking attractive. Okay, but in the spiritual sense, it has a lot to do with a spiritual being pure, being clean. Okay, so you want to be known as totally holy, pure in this time frame, an overflow of that as you're meeting your future king. Besides that, I want to note down that this is not just for women that have never been married. This is for women of marriageable age. Yahuah keeps giving me the word alma. It's a Hebrew word that means not necessarily a woman that's a virgin. It could be a woman that's a virgin and or not. It could be a woman that has children and or not. Okay? It means a woman of marriageable age, of ready to physically being, your body is actually ready to reproduce, like a marriageable age, like able to also spiritually, okay, you are of sound mind, you have you have fruits of the spirit, you are know how to be a Proverbs 31 wife. You have been working on yourself, okay? So that's what it means. So don't count yourself out if you already have some children, you already have been married before. That part doesn't matter, okay? Now, back to the vision. So suddenly, so she's just sitting there, they're both just sitting there. So right now, I want you to really, really use a strict amount of discernment, okay? High levels. Be strict on who you have in your surroundings, okay? Because there's been some other red flags that those individuals were not really for you. Don't just neglect those because you're so desperate to wanting, to be having friendships and loved ones around all the time. If they already showed some bad fruits, if they're already showing some red flags, just know that in order for this to all evolve and to be appointed times for you, certain things need to happen. So if you showed me that piece, that means that some of you still need to do away and remove yourself in a humbling, positive manner of refraining from such friendships and or relationships that are dampening your spirit, okay? Because really, they're not really for you. They're just trying. They're not actually getting in the secret place and getting their own oils, getting their own fragrance, holy fragrance to Yahuah. They're trying to take yours, okay? And they want to sit close to you so that your favor and your barakas, your blessings rub off on them, but they're not doing the work. It's over you. It's time to cut ties, okay? And who knows? They're probably there to just sabotage this union, so you gotta cut ties, okay? All right, so then suddenly the individual that is there giving a prophetic word stops production, and he goes like this, like if he's seeing something in the spirit, okay? And he doesn't say anything to anyone. He snaps out of that and he walks all the way up to that woman that was nursing that baby. And so he grabs her by the hand. He reaches out his hand. He obviously wants her to grab his hand. So she holds his hand thinking, well, maybe she's going to pray for me, but no, that's not it. He pulls her up. So to be taken, okay, that's the part, the ka, to be taken. And he takes her, and she follows him, and she leaves the ancestor there. She leaves the baby there, okay? So there's something pivotal with that. She goes all the way back to the backstage with him. So there was curtains. She goes to the back, and there's like, it just looks like a lounge area. And then there are suddenly two chairs like looking towards each other. So the seats are this way. And then he sits in one chair. She just automatically just sits in that next chair. And, she doesn't know what to expect. She's just kind of like, oh, that was shocking. Does he know? Does he really know? Because this is what happens next. He looks at her and then has his hands out like this, and so then he wants to hold her hands. So then she holds his hands on top of his in each hand, okay? And then they're so close, like the chairs are so close that their knees are touching like this too. And then their hands are like that. And then all of a sudden he says to her, "You are supposed to be mine. I am yours." That's what he said. So then she's like, "What in the world?" You know, like, I can't believe you just said that. That was really bold. That was really bold. He was for sure, with no doubt, looking at her, and he knew what he said. And then she just like was like blink, blink, like, she's like, "I can't believe that everything that Yahuah was telling her all this time actually is now, in this moment." That's what she looked like in her expression, right? So then he's like, just looking at her, like, it's almost like if he's like taking deep breaths, but trying not to look so exaggerated. But he was like captivated by the moment, like he just found her, like a needle in the haystack, and he just found the treasure. Like, out of all the options of having those concubines, and King Xerxes she was right there. He knew that was going to be his queen. It was like he was, you know, breathing deeply in his eyes. You know how when you feel emotional, your eyes kind of get teary? His eyes looked teary. Like he felt like crying, but not because he was sad. It was because he was so thankful to Yahuah. He was so humbled and grateful that he finally had her right in front of him. And he finally got to say those words that he had on the tip of his tongue, to say it to the right one, to the right woman. That's what occurred. And it was not a dream. The reason why I said dream, I got mixed up, because it was actually a vision that I had over and over again for 3 days straight. Repetitively. Like on repeat. So that's when I knew that this is not my imagination. Yahuah really wants me to write this vision down. And the reason why I'm saying it relates to the other video, because maybe the words my knees, my hands, it didn't come out into that whole gathering, that get together, that epiphany moment, maybe. But they literally, what took me a while to gather in 3 days of just it going in my mind over and over, seeing it, closing my eyes, seeing it in vision, seeing it with my eyes closed, seeing it with open vision, seeing it with my eyes open. Okay, I had to write it down. The reason why is because how it meshed together is I paid attention to the detail. Like it was saying, "What else do you see?" And I was like, well, I just see two people sitting together, you know, and they're holding hands, but they're sitting so close that their knees are touching. And like, the interesting part about speaking with Yahuah, you know, is like he'll just stay silent and just let you like have a bunch of epiphanies over and over again. Okay, and then I'm like, oh, holding hands, my hands, my knees, my knees. Do you get it? I'm like, oh my goodness. I get it. Because this original is actually backtracks, all the way to another prophetic dream I had regarding someone singing in a synagogue. Okay? And they entered in. And then there was a roof with a tarp because the roof needed to be fixed. But really, how they fixed it, they just took off the tarp. They didn't actually repair it with all the shingles or anything. It has to do with open heaven, direct downloads from heaven above. Okay, and there was a calamity happening at the same time that there was a beautiful Yahuah's prayer being said by this man, this individual. Okay, and all of a sudden he started speaking English. There was a catastrophe happening to her left that she thought her plans were going to work out. But really there was a sabotage, there was betrayal, then there was where he turned to stone, and she was like, you know, panicking, seeing this thing, supernatural phenomenon happening before her eyes to her loved one. Okay, and then while that beautiful prayer, she was looking straight, and it was all happening at the same time. Okay, and in that dream, that individual was pregnant. So again, birthing. So I think that's what has a lot to do with it. Okay. Then that individual at the podium said, "My hands, my hands, my knees, my knees." So then it all ties together. And what, you know what it means? My hands, my hands. It means his working hands, he's bringing people together in ordained spouses union who are truly his working hands. And my knees, who truly are at the knees in intercession, in secret place, truly worshiping the Most High, truly giving honor, truly asking for his counsel. He is bringing forth his own DNA. And this word also speaks about his breath, his being, Ruach HaKodesh, breath. Is blowing onto this union. He's putting life into it. Okay? That's what's so amazing. So, thank you for joining me. Please don't forget to like and subscribe if you want to sow into this message. I will put a link in the description. If you want to partner with us, that would be awesome. Thank you for those who have already giving so much to this channel, to my ministry here. It has been quite a journey, and it has been so marvelous to receive these dreams, these visions, these Rhema words. And it's so marvelous that now I'm going to be able to see it all happen in real time. This month of Tevet 2025 is appointed times. Stay tuned for the next videos of Ordained Spouse. Shalom.